The mansion did not simply stand in the forest, it breathed. Its lungs were the hollow corridors, its heartbeat the soft groan of ancient timber settling in the dark. And in its deepest shadows, something else breathed too. Something that had not yet learned to cast a shadow of its own. It began as a ripple. A wandering thought given form, a wisp of purple gas too unstable to hold its shape for long. This was Gastly, and the daylight was its enemy. It clung to eaves and corners, places where the wind could not scatter its essence. When night finally fell, it drifted in silence, searching. The abandoned mansion, deep within the forest, was an ideal refuge. Ancient wood corridors that held echoes. Rooms sealed from the outside light. Here, beneath roof and darkness, Gastly could finally grow. Within its refuge, Gastly set the rhythm. Small intruders appeared, Rattata, Sentret, the occasional lost Zubat. Gastly surrounded them in a veil of gas, not as an attack, but as a warning. It fed on the fear that followed and found amusement in it too. The shadows became its allies. Gastly guarded the house, and the house guarded Gastly. When enough experience had been gathered, it took another step into the shadows. Haunter emerged. Newly evolved, Haunter explored his power. His long tongue, formed of gas, adapted to any surface. Immensely powerful in combat and just as effective for playful scares. He began to move objects with effortless ease, reveling in his devastating strength. The house would remain secure. Over time, the mansion attracted more unwanted visitors. Trainers seeking shelter for the night. Curious teens with flashlights and dares. Haunter made a point of playing with them, cementing his dominance. His pranks kept the days entertaining, and the fear of other Pokémon became his nourishment. When small, unsuspecting intruders stepped into his territory, he turned the incursion into a laboratory. Fear grew in silence, and at its peak, he locked onto his target with mean look, sealing every escape route. Between calculated scares and newly learned strikes, few moments brought him as much pleasure. He watched in silence, patient, measuring every step. He waited for the perfect opening. When someone was left alone, the performance began. The perfect timing of his scares was born from experience. Haunter conducted the tension like a maestro, cueing entrances, controlling pauses, deciding the climax. Here he commanded the show. Humans were merely pieces upon his stage. Years of scares and battles against intruders, all to protect his territory. Through countless experiences, Haunter's creativity grew far beyond that stage. The moment arrived. He became Gengar, master of mischief, bearer of overwhelming strength. Gengar commanded the shadows as if they were extensions of his own body. Even he never imagined he could become this powerful. With absolute command over the darkness, he became the Lord of the Night. Now strong enough to protect the land surrounding his home, he stalked in silence, patiently tracking his target. At the perfect moment, he locked eyes and tested his new power, a hypnosis that pulled the victim into near-instant sleep. Then came Gengar's silent feast. He dove into dreams, sowed nightmares, and discreetly fed on the intruder's vital energy. By morning, the target awoke exhausted and disoriented, memory gone, and wandered away. The years passed. Decades of protecting the territory, frightening trainers, accumulating strength and experience. Every scare sharpened his creativity. Every victory made him more dangerous. With each encounter, he fed more deeply on what fear left behind. But time, which amplifies power, also deepens solitude. One night, when the stories of this house had already spread from mouth to mouth, a researcher, almost a legend herself, decided to cross its threshold. She was not like the others. Gengar immediately began his tricks. She did not retreat. She watched, patient, as if anticipating every move. Intrigued, Gengar felt something he had never known. She remained steady, a faint smile on her face, the smile of one who understands the language of ghosts. He attempted one final scare and was met only with understanding. For the first time in years, Gengar hesitated. Could this be, at last, the end of solitude? A bond formed, one that would endure across generations. Before, Gengar existed to protect only himself and the house he claimed as home. Now, beside his companion, he crossed forest paths and ancient cities. He studied marks carved into old walls. He listened to stories carried by the wind. He assisted in research on ghost-type Pokémon, tested hypotheses, uncovered clues, and discovered a world he once observed only through narrow cracks. But make no mistake, he had not abandoned battle. When it was time to fight, all the experience accumulated over years emerged. Precision, deception, mastery of shadows. This partnership, refined day after day, elevated his devoted researcher to the rank of Kanto's Elite Four. Gengar was no longer alone. Wherever she walked, he was a constant presence. Together, legend and science moved forward, side by side. What other mysteries still surround this Pokémon? What if a challenger sought to disrupt that bond? What if an ancient evil rose that even Gengar could not face alone? The shadows still hold secrets. And somewhere in the darkness, another Gastly is just beginning to ripple. In our previous video, we explored how Eevee's evolution exists in many forms. How one small Pokémon could adapt into multiple types, shaped by environment, emotion, and elemental forces. We saw how fire, water, thunder, friendship, even moonlight could define its destiny. But not all evolutions are gentle. Some are born not from harmony, but from darkness. Tonight, we explore an evolution shaped by shadow itself, the rise of Gengar. If you enjoyed this journey through the evolution of shadows, like and subscribe for more tales of the creatures that haunt your world. And comment below, what path do you think Gengar's story should take next? ***.